Good evening. It is early evening. I'm just looking at the newly installed clock over on the wall, and it's telling me that it's 4:15. So I just said while it was daylight, I'd come out as far as the headquarters of the other part of the job and get another bit of winter sowing done, or at least get ready for it. Although I'd hope to get a bit started this evening, if at all possible. I know the Brussels sprouts we put down last week seem to have took off very nicely indeed so far, and I know the good lady is over at the other table labelling up some other little pots and holders and that, because I know we've a few different options regarding what we might sow. So I know I definitely heard her saying there was celery over there anyway, so that will come in handy, because Mrs. Boylan will, as in the senior Mrs. Boylan, will absolutely put that in a stew or a casserole at some point, and it wouldn't be me if there wasn't extra varieties of onions lurking around somewhere. So there's probably some of them going to go in as well, and we'll see what else I might end up putting together before we head back in. Just turn the bucket around a little bit, leave it easier for me, I hope. So yeah, as I said, the time of my last video, which I think was on Sunday evening, I can't remember exactly, but the evenings are absolutely shot. But then I suppose when you think about it, they should be when you're only 3 days away from the start of October. But I always think when the day is dry, at least it gives the option of getting out to the like a here, or look, in an ideal world, over to the other yard to have a go at doing something. But as has been well documented at this stage, that's off the agenda at the minute, but we'll see what might come in that regard down the line. I have to say I've been very pleased with the uptake on people downloading the book so far, and every different download or purchase, or whatever you want to call it, is extremely well appreciated, and actually very humbling to think that so many people not only read my output, but think so highly of it as well, because it's only by generating interest in what one does that sustains the likes of a website, or I'm sure the same applies to newspapers, and I don't know, are magazines still a thing in the material sense, but if they are, they they depend on uptake of their content. So I very much appreciate the interest that has been shown in my second book so far. Any of you that have been following my meanderings for long enough will know that I did in fact start writing my autobiography last December. In fact, me being me, having a photographic memory for dates and facts and figures and that, I know it was the 14th of December I started writing it first. Now, hardly surprisingly, due to Corona and the like, it got slightly shelved, and the Rolling Down Memory Lane project actually overtook it to a certain extent, because the original plan was that wasn't to be out until maybe this time next year, but
well, it wasn't a book when you started.
Well, that's very true, as my wife-to-be just reminded me. It never was intended to be a book as such. It was just when last March, when the sporting world basically shut down owing to COVID, I did something. I had to do something not only to keep content rolling on the site, but more to the point, to keep my mental health sort of straight while all the restrictions and lockdown and all that were going on. So I got that much of a kick out of writing it, and got that much positive feedback out of it, that I decided to at least try and bring it together in book form. Now, as I say, downloads of the ebook have gone very pleasingly so far, and if you haven't done so already and you'd like to, please click the link on the Boil and Talk Sport homepage and download the book from there. It only costs a £5, and if I do say so myself, there's a fairly wide variety of material in it, so there should be something for everybody. But anyway, to get back on the job here, because I just needed to come out as far as the shed to get out of the office for a while and clear the head and whatnot. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 little pots ready for filling up by the good lady herself with whatever seed she has got ready over there, and I will check in back in with you when I decide which way. Now folks, just to wrap up for this evening, it turned out as I was actually filling the seedling trays with compost. The wood lady was actually sowing them as I was filling the others, and I didn't even realise it until she had them done. So it healed the hunt. As they say, it ends up that we have celery and Brussels sprouts, more Brussels sprouts, and
Spring onion.
and more spring onions gone in, and
Chinese cabbage.
and Chinese cabbage, which I think is called Pak Choi, because Miles Fahy, a very good friend of mine up the road, Mayo man, got this vegetable growing bug about 7 or 8 years ago before I did, and I think Miles is a bit like what I'm aiming at now. He has every conceivable vegetable under the sun known to mankind in, so they are the latest lot of seedling trays we put together. I have a sneaky feeling, now I could be wrong about this, but I have a sneaky feeling some of these may end up in the window in the office for a while just to start them off. Maybe not though. That'll do us for this evening. Just to remind you once again that my new book, Rolling Down Memory Lane, is available for download on the Boyle and Talk Sport homepage. Cost €5. As well as that, this week's episode of Drive Through Sports Weekly will be up at some stage during the week. We have a lot of stuff going on in a lot of different directions at the minute, but don't worry, there will be a show recorded before the 7 days are out, and with all that's going on in the sporting world, I can be fairly sure that we won't be short of something to talk about. But for now, I'll leave yous be, and I'll go in to somewhere where it's a bit warmer.